50% of the rapes that happen in India is when women go out to defecate. जब कोई बोलता है Me Too हुआ है उसके साथ तो वो मान लेना चाहिए. I've also come across a lot of instances where I've seen it being misused. Look at Kangana. Again, you know, that's female power for you. I hope in this lifetime I get to work with Shah Rukh, I get to work with Salman, I get to work with Amir again. This is Rakeysh Omprakash Mehra and you're watching me on Bombay Times Online. I think it was around, I was shooting for Bhag Milka Bhag in Film City, and it was a late night kind of a shift, ended at 3 in the morning, and at 4 I was leaving Film City from the back entrance through R.A. Mill Colony, and as the car turned the corner, we were crossing a slum colony. And a dozen odd women, they just got up as the headlight hit them. And either putting their sarees down, pulling their salwars up with dabbas in their hand. And the image kind of stayed with me for the longest time. And it would never leave my subconscious as such. Then, maybe a year or two later, I came across this startling facts from UNICEF on social media, and it said that 50% of the rapes that happen in India is when women go out to defecate. So it was a startling fact and it was shocking, and so one had to weave a story around that as such and talk about women's safety, and there is so much happening. It will bring a change itself. And Gandhi did stand for change, and he did say that be the change you want to see. So the film is inspired by Gandhi. It's a story of an 8-year-old who wants to change things because for his mother's safety. So it's a mother-son film. And there are other characters also. So, but the spotlight is on the 8-year-old. His character in the film is called Kanhaiya, and प्यार से कन्नू बुलाते हैं. So Kanhu, and his single mother Sargam. And opposite Sargam, we're launching a new boy. His name is Nitish. It's not opposite, but he plays an alter voice also in the film. Of accepting women with dignity. No, we shot the film in 2017 we finished the shooting. 2018, half the year was post-production. And then we were looking at a suitable release window. It's my first indie film. It's not associated with a big studio. It's not financed by the film structure. It's an outside finance. So we needed it to have a healthy release, and we needed it to have good partners, and to have a good window also, you know, so you're not fighting for space. We were most certainly screen testing, so and for the lead role, and I think Vicky tested, and Ranveer tested, so but yes, we will get to work. Nitish also tested, and Nitish is working in Mere Pyare Prime Minister. So that's how it happens, because there's that one role and that one actor will do it, and there is that one director who will get to do that film. So certainly you can't have like 4 directors making one film of 3 actors doing that one role. He's such a fine actor, and he's proved himself as a new age actor. Oh, it's not a biopic, it's a love story. So for the longest time, there is this feeling of coming together again. And we are both blessed that we got such a beautiful script, and it's been written by Anjum Rajabali, and it's a script which moved me to no ends, and that I'm getting an opportunity to work with Farhan again is such a blessing. There's no one person, it's always the character. It's who plays that character the best as such. So Nawazuddin played Manto so well, and now Manoj Bajpayee is going to play Man Singh in Son Chidiya. And beside doing such great work, Ranveer is somewhere else when he does things which are close to his heart. I'm not talking about the box office of the film as such. So his work is completely amazing. I'm hugely look forward to the work of Alia and Shahid. You'll see them in Urta, Punjab, and you say, what's going on? Where did this come from? What is this girl? She is a chota pataka out there. She's such a bombshell, and and when she explodes, it's like it's amazing because she's so talented. And so yes, and definitely Ranveer is there, and Raj is making his presence felt. Vicky is making it. Ayushmann is so absolutely dear to me. So it's like, it's not just the actor and actresses, it's also what's going on. Look at the new writing, look at the new directors, the kind of subjects they're coming with. The number of girls who have stepped into the limelight. Look at the work of Meghna. Meghna is just going from strength to strength, from Talwar to Razi, and now she's making a film on an acid victim with Deepika, and Deepika has picked up that role. Obviously Meghna has a great story to get such a great actress for that part. Everybody, look at Kangana, again, you know, that's female power for you. And I'm sure I missed out 90% of the names. I'm absolutely sure I missed out 99% of the names. I can keep rattling until tomorrow morning. I love each and every person who gives in their best. It's a fabulous moment that has happened. It kind of empowers the woman. It's a great tool out there. And जब कोई बोलता है MeToo हुआ है उसके साथ तो वो मान लेना चाहिए. But having said that, I've also come across a lot of instances where I've seen it being misused as such. It's such an important thing that it should not be misused. At the same time, it's a modern day revolution, and especially I think it's and it's worldwide. It's not just a Bollywood thing or a A-lister thing like you were saying, or a corporate or a political level thing. It will bring equality. Anything that brings around equality, especially when we talk about gender equality, it is so much needed. I hope in this lifetime, I get to work with Shah Rukh, I get to work with Salman, I get to work with Amir again. I get to make 100 films with Amitabh Bachchan. I'm greedy that way, and I pray to God that things happen. I hope I get to do music with A.R. Rahman again and again and again, and Gulzar writes the poetry again and again and again. Very fortunate that Javed sir, I'll be first time working with Javed sir on Tufan. which is fantastic. You know, it's like a child. You want everything. You want everything. You just want, and you want everything at the same time. But obviously you don't get everything. So जितना मेरी लक में होगा मिलेगा. In Bombay, I came here and till I became a Mumbaikar. It took me time. And when I came here first, there used to be one slum called Dharavi. And there were movies made on Dharavi and a movie called Dharavi also. And there was slum tourism, and they were doing $14 million worth of exports in you know, leather stuff and all that. So almost an industrial slum. But and then you start accepting that as a reality around you. But then one day when I looked around, there were almost 100 Dharavis. Most slums had grown, and we had failed to rehabilitate them in a very structured kind of a master plan. They're very clean, except the fact that there are open gutters, there's no water system, there are pipelines, the water would come for half an hour in a day. There's a huge sense of camaraderie between people and neighborhood, which otherwise you don't see in Bombay as such, you know, when you're staying in high rises, and you don't experience that fact. And the greatest thing which I realized was the spirit. While the grown-ups were उस जिंदगी से जूझ रहे थे and they were fighting life, the youngsters were and the kids were discovering life, and that was their reality, that the slums were their playground. No, my film is not about toilets at all. It's, you know, when I was making Rang De Basanti, everybody around me was saying, "You're making a film on Bhagat Singh." अभी तो 4 फिल्में बनी हैं, and it's very difficult to explain in words what you are making. I think your work should speak for you. And when the film came out, it was not about Bhagat Singh, it was the spirit of Bhagat Singh. Similarly, when I'm making Bhag Milkha Bhag, saying, oh, so it's a biopic on an athlete. No, it was about partition. It was about that dark period and a milestone in the history of India when the partition of the country happened. And the ones who suffered the most were in the violence and the ethnic violence were suddenly being uprooted from your roots and finding a new place. And there was a lot of cross migration. The ones who suffered the most were the women and the children, and Milkha was one of them. So subconsciously that was the story which I was telling. Similarly here, it's a film about social justice. It's a story about safety of women, empowerment of women, and a change in mindsets as to how we look at distribution of wealth, how we look at creating a better world for the people who don't have it. And so it's definitely not about toilets. Yeah, this is the third film I've done with Shankar Ehsaan and Loy. This is also the third film I've done with Gulzar Bhai. He did my first film, Aks, then Mirzia, and now Mere Pyare Prime Minister. I can say I'm only blessed that I'm making films at the same time when they are there to be part of the team, to support my vision. And there is so much they bring on the table. Beside the music, they bring their heart and soul, and they are like an altar voice. I'm discussing my script with them, I'm discussing my casting with them, I'm discussing telling the story, what I'm trying to say, and out of that the music and the poetry comes out.